So, a couple of things. So I managed to get the timing chain on with the tensioner in place. One of the things that I ran into was that this dang thing was so freaking tight that I couldn't slide anything on. I was fighting and fighting and fighting it. Well, along inside of here is spring steel, and they slide in here and in there. Well, I thought, the genius I am, I'll pop it out, fight to get this on with the plastic, and then I'll slide the springs back in. Well, I thought, number one, I thought it was one spring, but it's two. And a couple of times I've seen this on video, it seemed like this dang thing was awfully tight once they got it all together. I don't know how these guys got these things on here. It's ridiculous. The fight is crazy. I was fighting just to get this on. So my thought is, now that I have this on, voila. Put the springs in, boom, I'll be good. But it looks like it's going to be almost impossible to put the spring back in, just the way it's got to slide in the bottom and fit up in the top and go in here, and there's a roll pin that holds it in place. So I probably have to pull this back out, and I'm thinking, maybe I can just use one spring. Two springs is awfully tight. Maybe one spring will be enough to hold the tension. There's going to be another plastic piece here that even adds more tension on the spring. So does it have to be at freaking 1,000 pounds of pressure? I know it's not, but it feels like it when you're trying to put it together. If anybody's done this, they probably know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to pull it off, try to use one spring. What I had to do was I had to take a little pry bar, get it behind the wheel, and I used the oil slinger to pry the plastic piece over as far as I could to fit the spring around it. It's almost impossible to get this on your cam with all that tension. And as you guys know, on a Mopar, the cam will slide back. It doesn't seat back there. It seats forward, and it's held forward by your cam bolts and your oil, your fuel pump eccentric. That and the rotation of the motor pushes the cam forward too. But when it's all just sitting here and it's not mounted, your cam wants to slide into the block. Not all the way, obviously, but of course enough to where the chain starts hitting this plastic thing. It's pain. So I'm going to try to pull it off. I'm going to put one spring in and see how that works. As it is, the tension is like ridiculous. So maybe just one spring, it won't be so bad. Obviously, if you just keep a piece of plastic in here, it's just going to flatten out in a matter of moments once the engine is actually running. But maybe one spring will be enough to hold it in place, just to keep the timing chain from flopping around. That's the most important part. It's crazy how much it tensions it up. You watch some stuff online and they say, don't get it too tight. The tight timing chain is nice, but if it's too tight, you're going to be in trouble also. So, all right, so now I got to try to wiggle this back off, which is going to be fun. Of course, I can't set a tool down without losing it. Even though I'm working in a 3-foot area, ADD is an amazing thing, I'll tell you guys. It just wreaks havoc. pick something up, set it down. You could practically be holding it in your hand and take 20 minutes looking for it. Don't know what happened to it. I had a little pry bar with a handle on it. Looks just like this, but it was black. Well, you know, everybody knows this isn't a pry bar, but it is what it is. If you've got ADD, you know the struggle is real. So, I'll set some of this stuff. Found it. Looks good. This is what I was looking for. Actually, I think this was the guy I used yesterday just to get in here. And give it a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to bust it loose. Boy, once it's on though. There we go. Oh. Okay. See what I mean? Pain in the arse. This is going to be the fun part. Okay. All right. So now that I have a plan of action, see if I can make it happen again. So what I did was I put this in here. Use this to hold that over. Roll it down a little bit. Get a little bit more leverage to really reef on it. It should give me just enough room. This is what I do. Okay, so now I gotta see if I can manage to get this stuff back in place. Crazy they didn't give me any room. There we go. Okay, here comes the fun part. I was able to get this guy out the last time. There we go. All right. Well, don't mind me and all the grunting and groaning. Broken. Okay, so it's on with one spring. Tight as all get out. See if I can fit the other piece. All right, there we go. Put the centric on. Kind of hold everything in place. Pull the cam out where it's supposed to be. That was a challenge. Draw everything in. Let me set this guy to 50 foot-pounds. Okay. That was a trip. I don't like it that much. Yeah, let's see if I can do some. Okay, they both look pretty good. Let me come around. I got that TDC there. They don't poke out too bad. I was a little worried about my pistons poking out. Because there was a question of that, and what I was going to do about heads. I think I'm going to get some closed chamber heads at some point. I've got an older set, 587s, that I don't want to put on here, but they are what they are. It's like a J head with the small intake valve, 1.88. I'd like to have the 2.02. Being that this is a 340, I know these are a little bit higher compression anyways, so I got to do a little research, find out if that closed chamber head is going to be good. You know, what kind of compression I'm going to get, but we'll see. All right, well, here it is. I got one spring in here. We're going to see how that flies. If it holds it in place. Man, this sucker is nice and tight though. And if one spring will work, good to go. If I need the secondary spring, man, I wish there was a way to just pop it in there now. Unfortunately, that doesn't look to be the case. It looks like it would be a huge issue to get that dang thing in there. They just don't make any easy way to do that. So one spring should hold. We'll see. You know, I know that under heat springs kind of lose their tension. So worst comes to worst, all it's going to do is loosen up a little bit, which would make the chain as loose as it was before you put a tensioner in here, and these didn't come with a tensioner. So all right, we'll continue on from here. I think I'm just going to slop oil all over this bad boy, so when it does start up, nothing gets hurt. All right, I'm going to check my piston height. Probably something I should have done long ago, but I'm going to try that, see where I'm at, and then I'm going to go to the store and get some. Go up. I live close to a company called Mancini Racing. A lot of you Mopar guys have heard of them. I'm lucky enough to only live about 3 miles away, so if I really need something and quickly, I can always shoot up there in the morning because I work afternoons and see if they got it. And one of the things I'm going to be looking for is I need oil pan bolts. I noticed that the bolts that came off the old engine were just cheap, I don't know, like Ace Hardware type bolts or something. So see what I can get from them. Get a set of real oil pan bolts for this. And I'm going to continue on. All right.